Hi everybody, welcome to the Moto Weekly Show. It's been a long time since I've done this. I've had a lot of hang up, but I've got my stuff sorted out. Got my mic fixed, got a new tripod head, and just got a few other things in place. I'm going to try and make this consistent, no guarantees, but a lot has happened since I last did the first 3 episodes of this show. Many big hitters have retired. Ryan Dungey retired, Trey Canard retired, Davey Millsaps retired, Christophe Pourcel, Ken Roczen went to Honda. Ken Roczen also had a huge injury. You guys probably know most of this stuff, but I figured I'd just rehash some of it. A whole ton has changed in the sport, and it's crazy what a year can do. Let's get into the news right now. So, we're still in the Supercross season. We're like a few races past the halfway point. Jason Anderson is leading the title chase, and by a big margin. Let's get into the current season. So, the last race was in St. Louis. It was quite uneventful compared to some of the other races this season, but Eli Tomac beat Jason Anderson by a huge margin. Now, Tomac is coming from behind once again, like he did last year. Last year, he almost had the championship, and unfortunately, Eli Tomac kind of hiccuped on the second to last race and just wasn't able to close the title, but it was a good ending to Dungey's career. So yeah, Eli Tomac beat Jason Anderson by a huge margin. I believe it was like 20 seconds. It was a huge margin. The results for last weekend are Eli Tomac, Jason Anderson, Marvin Musquin, that's the podium. Justin Brayton and Weston Pike round up the top 5. Blake Baggett, Brock Tickle, Dean Wilson, Christian Craig, and Malcolm Stewart make the top 10. Malcolm Stewart came from the LCQ to finish 10th, which is not bad. And I know that Weston Pike has been a consistent rider. Let me actually finish reading off a few stats, and then we'll actually go through each rider a little bit, because I know it's been a while since I've shot one of these. So for round 11 of 17, which is St. Louis, Jason Anderson has 246 points. Marvin Musquin has 204. Justin Brayton has 189. Eli Tomac 186. Blake Baggett with 181. Weston Pike with 171. Brock Tickle with 147. Right behind is Cooper Webb, Cole Seeley, and Justin Barcia. The 450 riders, contestants, what have they been up to? Well, Tomac's coming from behind, as I mentioned before. He's won 5 races this season. He's DNF 2, and he did not start one of them. He is still down 60 points from El Hombre, who, while he's catching up, that's a huge deficit. Jason Anderson could make top 5s for the rest of the season and beat Tomac, even if Tomac were to win every single race. Speaking of Anderson, he's won 4 races this season, the most he's done in any season. Obviously, he's leading by a huge margin. Marvin Musquin won the season opener. I don't think he's won since. He did not start for one race. And he's still down 42 points. Number 3 is Justin Brayton. Who would have thought Justin Brayton won his first Supercross race? He won it at Daytona. And he's now in the history books because he's the oldest rider to win a Supercross race. He also has had the longest distance between his career start and when he's won a race. Justin Brayton's 3rd in points. That's crazy. Blake Baggett is number 5th in the point standing. Baggett's a great rider. I mean, he put out a lot in the Nationals last year. And even in Supercross, he always makes a few podiums every season. I believe he's made 3 podiums this season, and he's 5th in points. Barcia and Roczen. Ken Roczen came back from one of the worst crashes I've seen, in recent Supercross, motocross years. But it was bad. And, I mean, he took the whole last year recovering, didn't race at all. He came back, he's made a few podiums. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to win a race, and he injured himself again. But, it's really good to see Roczen come back as well as he did. He's still racing near the front of the pack. Other than that, Justin Barcia. Everybody thought Barcia was a goner. After the last 2 seasons, we didn't see anything from Barcia. Well, guess what? He came back this season. He was 2nd in points for a good chunk of the races until he got injured. I don't remember how he injured himself, but he did. Okay, let's talk 250s. We're going to make this quick. So the 250 West, Aaron Plessinger is leading in points. Plessinger is actually a 250 East guy, but with Colt Nichols' injury, Plessinger became a 250 West guy overnight, probably. And he's doing pretty well. Joey Savacci is second in points. Joey Savacci is somebody who's raced to 250 West many times. I believe he was on the East last year. Third in points is Shane McElrath. He's a good guy. Adam Cincerillo is fourth in points. Justin Hill actually won his first race. Oh, one other thing. 250 West rider Christian Craig. Mediocre season. He's got a podium. But now that he's racing in the 450 class, during the East rounds, he's doing pretty well. He made 250 East. Last weekend, both Forkner and Osborne had a red plate, but Forkner made a huge mistake, and Osborne keeps the plate. Jordan Smith is third in the points. That about routes it for the 250 East. I know you guys don't really care. Let's go over some more points. MXGPs. The second race was in Valkenswaard. I don't know how to pronounce that very well. While Jeffrey Hurlings qualified 19th, he went 1-1 and obviously won. The stats are Jeffrey Hurlings, Tony Cairoli, Gautier Paulin, Glenn Koldenhoff, Roman Feb, Max Anstey, Clement DeSalle, Jeremy Sewer, Tim Geiser, and Jeremy Van Hobreek. GP points, Jeffrey Hurlings has 97 points, leads them. Tony Cairoli has 91, Clement DeSalle has 67, Roman Feb has 65, Gautier Paulin has 64, Glenn Koldenhoff has 55, Jeremy Van Hobreek 54, Max Anstey 45, Sean Simpson 39, and Jeremy Sewer has 38. MX2, who won last weekend. Paul Jonas went 1-1 for the win. Jorge Prado went 2-2. They are both also on Team KTM. Thomas Olsen went 3-3. He rides a Husky. Conrad Muse is number 4. Thomas Covington, the American guy, is number 5. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. You don't need to hear any more points from the MXGP. There was a controversy over Team KTM too. There was one guy, I don't remember who it was, that they signed, and he was complaining about the bike, and they dumped him. I don't remember who it was, but we'll get back to that. Arena Cross. Yes, we will go over all the sports. Most of them. Chris Blose wins this last weekend. Gavin Faith is second. Daniel Harrelin is third. Isaac Tisdale is fourth. And Kyle Bitteman is fifth. Ryan Brees wins the Arena Cross Lights class. Works in the Pro class. I don't even know how to pronounce this name. Giacomo Ridoni. This is in Arizona. He won. Gary Sutherland took second. Dante Oliveira took third. In the Pro 2 class, Tristan Hart, Noah Keppel, and Mitch Anderson. In the Works Pro 2 Lights, Spencer Wilson took the win. Robbie Schott, TM team rider, woohoo! He took number 2. Kyle Hutchison took number 3. In the Hare and the Hound, Kendall Norman won with the 2 fastest loops. Well, we got a few more things. Tag Metals announces a worldwide relaunch. They got some new products out there. They got some race replica handlebars. They got 3 different grips, some countershaft and rear sprockets, race chains, aluminum throttle tubes, and multiple other accessories. They should be popping up in fall. Also, in Moto news, we also have Thor. I believe they have a new set of gear. It's called Kitten or something like that. But it's really cool. If you go out there and just Google it, Thor new gear, you'll find it. Well, thanks for hanging in here for the Moto Weekly Show. Hopefully next week I'll have some more stuff for you guys. Talk to you soon.